Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves today. Let me get you brought up on my phone, and then we'll get started. All right, there we go. So I hope everybody's having a good day today. We got ES here on the screen as normal. Obviously, the FOMC should be coming out right about now, and then normally they talk about it just after. So we'll see if that has any bearing on anything. Let me just make sure I've got all the settings where they need to be. Okay, looks good. Just wanted to make sure. So right now it shows me that there's just one of you in here right now. So whoever it is, welcome. And now two. So people are popping in. And we're going to see if the FOMC makes any difference today. Obviously, we've had a nice steady climb throughout the day. Obviously, we sold down to resistance here, support. Okay, bounced up, came over here, and before we took this out, we obviously started back down again. The buyers came in, pushed it up, and then we've had this nice steady climb up until we got right here, which is at 1 o'clock. And then it obviously makes sense that they're probably either going to go neutral or even pull it back a little bit heading into FOMC. So we'll see if we get any kind of reaction. Typically, if you're going to get a reaction, obviously it depends on what they're saying, but usually it can be anywhere from about 5 minutes in till sometimes even 2:30ish, when they start talking about why they did what they did or didn't do anything. So right now we're getting a little bit of a move to the downside. So I'm obviously not listening to it, so I have no idea what's being reported or what's being said. Hey there, Nail. Our buddy Dennis. Now it says we got 4 of you in here. So obviously the initial reaction is not positive right now. I don't know if anybody is watching or listening to the FOMC. You could type in what they are saying, what they're going to do, not going to do. Obviously, their wording is critically important to how the market reacts. If they act like they're nervous or fearful or anything like that, the market typically will tank. If they act very positive, if they act like everything is great, typically the market will go up. Again, whether it is or not, it's just strictly by how they handle things. Sometimes just the phraseology that they use, they can say certain words, and those words will be said. And if it's a really negative word or there's a connotation with the word that's really negative, you'll watch and just a few seconds later, you'll see the market start to tank. Or vice versa. If they say something that's very positive, again, whether the news is positive or not, you'll sometimes see the market head up. Now, there's some people, I don't do it, but there's some people that claim that you should actually mark the level of, right here where this candle opened right before they speak or give a report. and they claim that obviously the rest of the day, that is actually your level and not opening price level. I don't do that. I could see some value in that, but I don't necessarily mark another level. I mean, basically what they're saying is you're going to see whether the reaction was negative or positive. So let's see here. So far, not significantly. I mean, it's not right now. Obviously, we're only 6 minutes in. They could still be talking, giving their report. But typically, if you're going to flush, it's going to happen. Like I said, usually anywhere between 205 and 230. It just depends. So just kind of watching right now. I've noticed that, and we're going to cover a lot of things, but I've noticed that several things started to pull back right around this time, right in here. And that's probably also why the market was showing a little uneasiness, kind of leveling off. But several names were doing the same. Here, let's do this. We'll mark some levels here. I'm going to put an alert right here. And then I'll put one just above. That way we'll know if anything happens. I mean, right now it looks negative, but there's been times when it's looked negative and then they start to speak. They'll give the report and then they'll start to speak later and then it'll go back up, or vice versa. I've seen times when it's went up and then they start to speak and it's like, oh, wait a minute. That report wasn't as good as I thought, and then it comes plummeting down. So, right now this is not a huge move one way or the other. All right, let's look at a few things. There's 5 of you in here now. Okay, here's Apple. So Apple, let me get these turned off. Give me 1 second. Equities. That way we can see the gaps. All right, so Apple gapped up and was obviously very strong. This was a name that was on our watch list. So opened, kind of just tweaked down a little bit, and then boom, nice strong move to the upside. Opened at 284.73, and it went as high as 289.67. Let's see, I need to go to the daily. Let's see what it was here. Okay, it was an outside candle. So our trigger was the high of this candle, 285.83. So entry would have been around 285.85 or a couple pennies higher. And then price went as high as 289.67. So not quite $4. So if you got, $3.50 out of that, that'd be a good move. Hey, Cathal, good to see you. Okay, so Apple, right off the watch list, we got what we wanted. In fact, let's do this. I haven't even thought about this before. Don't switch. Let me go back to the watch list. And we'll go down through them one by one. Hang on 1 second here. We know we've had some really good ones today. There it is. Okay. So here's today's watch list. We're just going to go down one by one. So CHK. Let's go there. Okay, and we know if we come down here, CHK was a daily inside candle. Okay, not really a whole lot going on with this one. Okay, GDX, and this is one that Kelsey was asking about, and I told her I would look at it once we were on the live stream. Okay, so GDX, inside candle. Now, so far, we have not got a dramatic move. What I would be looking for is to see if it comes back through. Okay, we're still green. Okay, but you can see it poked down, it went up. Right here's where it would have triggered, right there. 42.11, so just above there. Got as high as 42.47, so a little over 30 cents, about 35, 36 cents. Then it reversed and it came back down in. Now, the one thing I do like about this setup is look at the contracting range. Okay, look at this contracting range. All right, everybody see that? We just barely poked our head out. Now we're coming back down in. Now, if this thing goes red, that could be an aggressive entry. Now, remember, you only have less than 2 hours left in the day. Okay, so this may be something that we look at more tomorrow. But we went inside, a double inside candle. We took out the top. Now we're coming back through the range. Let's see if we can get all the way through. So that's GDX. And again, if you got to where you took out opening price, which was at 41.43, so around 41.40, if it started and got there and kept going, we know that it's going to probably want to test this side of the range. And if it would take that out, it would probably have a good chance at taking this out. Just like when it took this out, it actually took this out. And then let's come over here, and it took this one out. So it basically, it's hard, it's like an optical illusion because I have this drawn in. But the high on this is 42.47. The high on this is 42.42. So it took all of these out. Now it's reversing, and we would assume that it's going to test this side of the range. And if it takes one out, it's probably going to take that one out, probably going to take that one out. Okay, so that's GDX. Might not happen today, but that's what we're looking at. So Kelsey, going over that for you. All right, let's look at the next one. Lake, L-A-K-E. All right, so it was an inside candle. Okay, here's our trigger. 1470, so about 1467, 1465, and it's been as low as 1430. So we got a move, just didn't get a whole lot. It's a a $14, $15 stock, and you can see the size of the candles here. We've had a couple of decent ones. This one here was not quite $2. So it just doesn't move a whole lot. So we got the move. Okay, right there, inside candle, took it out, went down. It's pushed back up a little bit, all right, but it's not like it's coming back through the range or anything right now. Okay, so Lake went positive, just gave us about, what did we say, about a 30-cent move? Let's look again. About 35-cent move to the downside. All right, next one. This is one of my favorites from today. PSTI. PSTI. Okay, inside candle. Hello. Take out the bottom here at 1075. It's been as low as 861. So let me do the math real quick. 40, then $1. And then 70 more cents, right? 10, so what do we say here? So entry, let's make the math easy, 1070. So 70 cents down to 10, $1.70 to 9, and 39 more is what, $2.09 on a $10, $11 stock. Doesn't get much better than that. That's absolutely beautiful. There's your entry, and it just kept going and going and going. If I switch this, I'll come back to the daily, but if I switch this to the 30-minute, you're going to see the move was straight down to the 200. Just plain and simple. Didn't have to do any thinking, just straight down. Then at the 200, that's where it caught support. So that's that's as plain and easy as it gets. That's why I said this is obviously one of my favorites from today. Back to the daily. And let's see, what's the next name? ZM. ZM, which is Zoom. Okay, right now we're looking at all inside candles. All right, we got a gap and go. So where did it open? It actually tried to push up. Then it came back, went through. So right there's where you would have entered. And it opened at 147.98. And it went as low as 143.38. So that is a $4.60 move to the downside. Now this candle looks small. That's because it moves, right? If you look at some of these candles, it's got some range to it, right? This looks small, but it's not. Just this move from here to here was $4.60. All right, yesterday's candle, let's see, had a range of almost $11. All right, so Zoom worked in our favor. It went up, came back. When it comes through opening price, you take it because we're expecting it, right? If it gaps down, we're expecting it to go lower. So Zoom. Now we're moving into outside candles. We already looked at Apple, so let's look at IBB. We'll see if it did anything. These will all be outside candles. Okay, nothing, right? Neither alerts went off, nothing to do. Nothing to do. Next one, Intel, INTC. Okay, here we go. Here's our outside candle. Right here's our entry. I don't know how I missed this one. Okay, so that's what I was trying to tell you guys in the room. When you got, basically 20 names that you're watching, plus I'm watching other stuff as well, even with alerts, it's hard to keep up with everything because I totally missed this one. Okay, high 60.20, so about 60.25 would have been your entry, and it went as high as 61.93. So what is that? That is almost $1.70. $1.70, and then you would have caught it as it came back down. So let's say you caught $1.50, $1.40 of that. Okay, nice move on Intel. Okay, so that worked in our favor. Okay, NetEase, NTES, NetEase. Outside candle. Okay. It tried to come back through the zone, couldn't do it. Then it came back down. Right here would have been our trigger. And that's at 350.79, so say 350.75. And it went as low as 347.54. So let's see again, 350, 347. So a little over $3 move. Okay, little over $3 move, about a $3.25 move to the downside. Again, if you catch $2.50, $3 of that, there you go. Okay, there would have been nothing to do as it worked back through here. Then it reversed, came back down. Right here's your trigger. Okay, you get in there. It moves about $3.50. You catch maybe $2.50, $3 of that. Put that in your account. Okay, next one, the Qs. The Qs, QQQ. Outside candle, break to the upside at 217.32, so about 217.35. It went as high as 218.98, so almost 219. So that was about $1.60 move. Okay, to the upside. On the Qs, you get $1 or $1.50. That's a good move. Obviously, as an ETF, you don't usually see wild moves. The candle yesterday was about $6. So that, and as you can see, it's one of the biggest candles on the screen. Okay, here's normal size candles, okay, like these, and that's what today is. So if you caught, $1.50 off of that, okay, not bad. Okay, but you can see, right here's our trigger. I don't know why I never thought about just going through these like this before. Okay, SFIX, because then we can just see on every single one what they did, how they played. Outside candle, here's your trigger. Your trigger is at 1730. It's been as high as 1768. So that's 38 cents. Okay, this is a name that doesn't move a whole lot. Okay, we've had a decent move yesterday in terms of range. Today, not bad. Let's look here. About $1.20 in total range. If I remember right, don't hold me to this. I think the ATR on this is about $1.70 or so. All right. So, and this alert here, I had moved it up. I actually had an alert set here. And then when it started going that way, I just kept moving alerts, moving alerts, moving alerts. If the market would have continued up, there would have been the possibility of a really nice pop. Again, this has a high short float on it, but this is a gap. I've talked about this with you guys before. See, from up here, actually up here, all the way down, right there. This is as deep as we've penetrated into the gap so far. So this is a daily chart, so you can see how far back this is. This is March 9th. So we're talking over a month and a half, right? Closing in on a couple of months, and we still haven't been able to get back through the gap. Now, each time you test it, it should get weaker. Okay, now we're starting to penetrate deeper into it. But I was really hoping if we kind of got in here a little bit, we'd see that squeeze, that short squeeze, and that's when you get these huge candles. Okay, because I've looked this one up before. Don't hold me to the exact number, but I want to say it's about 37% short interest. So if this thing ever started to move in a really good fashion, and those guys got squeezed, this thing could pop. It could be one of those days. Let's see if it's got any candles like that. I don't even know if this is. Yeah, that's pretty close. That's almost $3. I was going to say, for a stock that moves maybe $1.50, $1.70 per day, you get a short squeeze, you might see a $4 or $5 or $6 candle on one day. On one day. That's what you're looking for there. All right, but we did get a move. Okay, it wasn't dramatic, but we took out the inside or top of the outside candle. And what did we say we got? About 38 cents. Okay. Next one is TNK. I believe this is a shipping name, but let's see. Yep, TK Tankers. Let's see, has it done? Yes, we had a gap and go. Look at this. Outside candle, gap down, tried to work its way back up, could not do it. Sellers pushed it down. So here's your entry. $22, and it's been as low as $20.04, so almost a $2 move down. Again, I apologize that I somehow missed this one as I was going through this morning. I try to alert you guys when I know something's moving. This one totally, obviously the alert went off because I always have my alerts. See that this is the upper one. If it would have came all the way up through here, okay, that's what this is. So the bottom one's already been taken out. I just missed it. I'm sorry. But that's a great move. $2. Gap down, tried to come back, couldn't do it. Sellers, this shows you the weakness because what has the market been doing? The market's been going up today. Other than that initial drop down, the market's been going up. And how funny is that this tried to go up first and then came back down? All right, so again, another great play, and all I can do is apologize that I missed that one. TTD, all right, now this is another one of my favorites today. TTD, good old trade desk. Bam, look at that. Look at that. Beautiful too, because we didn't even have to worry about gapping up, or we did gap up. I'm sorry, we did gap up, but we hadn't taken out the outside candle. That's kind of what I was getting at. And entry was at 270, say 270.75 just to make it easy. And then this thing went as high as 291.50. 291.50 from an entry of 270.75. 291.50. So almost $21. Almost $21. This morning, remember the first time I alerted it, it was up about what, like $8 or $10, and then I was like, oh, it's still going. Then it was up like 12, then it was like 15. Look at this thing, just strength. Let's look at it on the 30-minute. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Okay, even right here, I don't know that would get somebody out, because you see, it didn't really even get down like near the bottom of this one. You could tell it was running out of steam though. I mean, right up in here is probably where you would get out, right? Big green, medium green, and then it starts going small, 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 and that's your first red one, even though it's a spinning top. That might get you out right there, 289-ish. But even at that, from 270, that's still $19. Wow. TTD. All right. Let's see what's next. Twitter. All right. So here's Twitter. Whoops, I'm sorry. I'm on the 30-minute. I got to go back to the daily. There we go. Here's our outside candle. There's our entry. Okay, we opened up, tried to go lower. Buyers came in, pushed it up. Entry at, let's say, $30.50. Went as high as 31.16. So what's that? 50 and 60, about 66 cents. So maybe as it backs down a little bit, you get out with 60 cents, 55 cents. Okay, nothing dramatic, but you see we got earnings coming up. Earnings is that tomorrow? What's today? Today the 29th? If so, earnings are tomorrow. Okay, but we got what we wanted. We got what we wanted, expanded, and now we're looking to see what earnings will do to it. All right, that's all our outside candles. Now we're going to look at hammers. Okay, big, B-I-G. I know this was one that Kelsey was playing this morning. B-I-G, which is Big Lots, the discount store. All right, so here we go. Got our hammer. We gapped up. It pushed down, came back through. It's going higher now. All right, but obviously when she was in it this morning, she did the right thing, by the way. Kelsey, when you watch this, you did the right thing by getting out. Entry 24.50, and if you guys remember from this morning, it just could not get over this 24.76 resistance area. And eventually Kelsey got out, which was smart. She got out, I think she said at break even. It just kept coming up to it and it'd back away. Come up to it, back away. Come up to it, back away. It just wouldn't go through it. Now, it's been as high as 25.14, but she was playing options. Anybody playing options, you wouldn't have made any money. Okay, let's go back. Let's go to the 30-minute. All right, here it is. Okay, look at this. Couldn't get through. Didn't get close. Couldn't get through. Under. It just now moved above. It just now moved above and got up to 25.14. Her target was 25. Okay, so you hold on to options all the way through the day like that, you're not making any money. You're probably losing money. All right, so she did the right thing by getting out And I can't remember exactly where she got out, maybe over in here somewhere. I think it might have been when this one started to go red. But she did the right thing. She got out. She preserved capital. All right. Next one. GLD. Oh, got to get over here. Nothing. Nothing to do. Nothing to do. Never got outside of it. Okay, so we just move on. I like to call those no harm, no foul, right? Because there's just nothing to do. Play, P-L-A-Y. This is Dave & Buster's. Obviously, this thing tanked recently. All right, so here we had a gap and go. It's come back, but at the time, this was a big green candle. So our entry was at $14.85. It went as high as $16.66, so not quite $2, about $1.80 approximately. Again, maybe you make $1.50, right? Maybe you make something like $1.50. Look at the size of the candles. That's a good move. $1.50 pays you on this. All right, so ignore what it looks like now, and if this thing keeps coming down, we may actually have a shooting star that'll be on our radar for tomorrow. But we had our hammer gapped up and it went gap and go. Right? Exactly what we're looking for. Exactly. I mean, it had just this tiny little move down, but as soon as it moves up, takes out opening price, you're in until it starts backing up against you. Then you back out. Then you get out. All right, no reason to hold on for a long time. If you get what you need and you're in profit, take it. Take it. It's what our buddy Nail does, right? Somebody was talking about that in the room today. Okay, Nail on these scalps, man. He's in and he's out. He takes his profit, moves on. Okay, price can't go against you if you get out with profit. Right? It's impossible. If you exit with profit, price can't go against you. And just don't ever have FOMO. Don't worry about what you miss. Okay, if you do miss anything, I'm just telling you, more often than not, it's going to go against you if you hold on too long. All right, so here is shop. Okay, it did take out the top of this. Let's see if it gave us any kind of a move though. 130, or excuse me, 639.76. So 630.80. It was as high as, 639.80. It was as high as 645.50. All right, so almost $6, not quite $6. Somebody might have made a few dollars there. Again, remember, shop is crazy, right? Remember this candle? What did we say this one was? Almost $110 candle on a regular stock. Like that's like what the market was moving in that crazy volatility. This is a regular stock moving $100 right there. All right, so when we see this, it looks small, but that was almost a $6 move. Premiums are high on shop though. Okay, so I'm not expecting, let's just look at them. I'm not expecting somebody to jump in $1,100 per contract, $1,240 per contract, right? So let's see what a $6 move would get you. 1110 to 1240. It'd be a little bit more than that. 1110 to 1240. 1240. Let's say it would probably be about 1260 minus 11. So about $150. I don't know. I don't know if that's worth it for me. But you don't know that in real time, right? You don't know that. I mean, you could. It could take this out and boom, end up being, something like this. You just don't know, right? And we know that we're in an expanding range right now. Okay, that's why I have these drawn in. Okay, so we're going to see in the coming days what it does. All right, so let's look here. Those were our hammers. Let's look at our shooting stars. BIIB, which is Biogen. Okay, these are going to be our shooting stars. Nothing. Nothing to do. Okay, so we just move on. J&J, Johnson & Johnson. Oops, there we go. Okay, so we took out the bottom. Now you got to remember, this would have been all red at one time. Took out the bottom at 150.70, and we moved as low as 149.16. So I'm trying to do the math, say 20. So a little over $1.50. Little over $1.50. And what are our average moves? Okay, this was about $2.50, and all these candles are pretty similar. You know, $2.50, $3 candles. So $1.50, that's half of a day's range, right? That's half of a day's range right there. That was a little over $1.50. Maybe you get out with $1.25 or $1.20. Again, that's about half of a day's range. Okay, pretty good on J&J. Let's see what the options cost. Not dramatically expensive. $180, okay, $150, depending on if you're buying in or out of the money. Okay, now to the put side, they were a little bit higher. When you see this, when you see that the prices are higher on one side than the other, that tells you that the market makers believe that that's the direction it's going to go. Doesn't mean they're right, but that's what they believe. And it did, right? It did go that way. All right, I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but when you see an imbalance, right? Like on one side, it's like 180 to buy a contract, a call at the money, but on the other side, it's like 290 to buy a put at the money. You're like, whoa, wait a minute, that's like $100 difference. Well, it's telling you that the market makers think it's going to go to the downside. That's why the puts are that much more expensive. Okay. Walmart. And I think Walmart had an alert go off, but I'm not sure. Let's see here. Yeah, we did. Heck yeah. Look at this. It gapped down so far, it didn't even trigger the alert. I don't know if you guys know this about Thinkorswim. So I set these alerts either in the nighttime or in the morning before the market opens. If it gaps down significantly below, it doesn't even trigger. That's why it's still there. So I had this set and it gapped down so low. All right, so let's look here. Entry would have been at 125.57 and it went as low as 122.55. So that's a $3.02 move. Again, you'd probably catch maybe 250 of that. Let's be conservative, right? So $2.50, and basically that's about the whole move of the day. That's the whole move of the day because there was the high and the low. The high and the low is about 325, 320, 321. So the whole range today was 321. You catch 250 of that on Walmart, you're rolling. You're rolling. Okay? So again, worked out perfect. Worked out perfect. That's what we're looking for. That was a gap and go that now has come back, right? Let's look at the 30-minute. Okay, see? Almost all the move, first two candles. There, right here, it catches a bounce, comes back up, and then it's been moving back up the rest of the day. Easy play. Look at that. That's all it came against you. Then it reversed, and then just straight to the basement. That was a $3.02 move from there to there. So as it starts to come back against you, you're probably going to get out around, 250 profit. If you're really good, maybe 275, something like that. But that's beautiful. Again, beautiful. This has been one of the best overall watch lists in a long time. And then let me see. Okay, here was our small account growth names. And I know unless something changed, LOV and TORC didn't really do anything today. And like I told you guys, LOV. Like I told you, most of the time, these things aren't going to play. Okay, I have to turn on pre-market. Most of the time, okay, because again, all the move was after hours. Okay, then it came down, settled in. We want it to go higher and take this out, so we see that big money's interested. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. Then it just kept moving down, moving down, moving down. And as you can see, each one of these candles will tell you the volume. 379,000, 160, 50, 25, 32, 11, 31. Okay, you see how the volume fell off. 6, 10. Okay, just no excitement. And again, we're not playing. I don't recommend you try to play these short. Okay, so there was nothing to do there. Let's look at TORC. I think it did the same thing. It did. Same exact thing. The move was pre-market, opened up, and then it just kind of sold down, caught the 20 here. But CMRX did give us a pop. So right there's your entry at 228. So say 230, went up to 262. That's 32 cents. And I know, I don't know why I'm forgetting who caught it, but somebody caught this pop this morning and caught about 25 or 30 cents of it. And that's all you're looking for in a name like this. Okay, I remember they made 12%. So if it was one of you who's in the room, you can let me know who it was. But I know at least one of you caught that. That's all you're looking for is the pop. That's it. They made 12%. They're out. That's what those are there for. And every once in a while, we're going to catch those ones. I can't remember the name, but remember the one the other day? It moved like $4, and then it eventually moved like $6 or $8. Those are rare. I shouldn't say rare, but they're not going to happen as often. Rare means they almost never happen. They're not going to happen as often. The ones that are rare are the ones that might be $4 or $5 and then rip to 20 or 30. Those are rare. They do happen though. Sometimes even bigger. All right, so let's go back. Let's look at the market. All right, let's see where we're at. Here we go. You can see we're in this expanding range and we've just been kind of hovering along the top here. And we can't really get out of it, right? Can't really get out of it. So if I like switch 1 hour, will that work? Let's see here. Yeah, maybe even a 4 hour. Hey, Cathal. Cathal's the one who caught it. Good job, Cathal. Yeah. These lines get distorted when I switch the time frames. But anyway, go back to the 30-minute. And you're going to see this expanding range. And right now, look at this. So we went from here down to here, up to here, down to here, back up to here. We moved away. Then we came back up. We tested it again. Came back up. We're up here testing it again. You see this? Even though this pops out a little bit, you're still really in this range. You need to see a sharp breakaway. Then maybe you come back and retest it and go higher. But right now, until something changes, we're still in here. Okay, and where did this come from? Yesterday, remember, the reverse 1 hour inside candle. I originally had it drawn wrong because I was using the wrong candles. Yesterday, it was first candle, 1. Second candle, 2. Third candle, and here was your inside candle right here. And I was drawing it in here for some reason, and then I caught it, and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm not drawing it. Here was where it needed to be drawn from. And as you can see, that gives you your expanding range. So if for some reason, I'm not saying it's going to happen, if for some reason price starts to fade, okay, it's not going to be a straight line, right? It's going to move, it's going to move. It could come all the way back down here. Now that might happen over a number of days. More than likely wouldn't happen in one day. Okay, even here, this was yesterday, this is today, and you can kind of see how we move. All right, just because you're inside of an expanding range doesn't mean you're going to do this. Boom, 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 boom. Doesn't mean you're going to do that, right? You're just inside the range right now. Okay, from here, it could have a pretty dramatic drop and come down here, and then it could chop and chop and chop and come back down again and chop and chop and chop. All right, we just know that right now we're inside the expanding range. Okay, now price is trying to move back up. Let's squeeze it in a little bit. Okay, so here was our 2 o'clock candle. This is when the FOMC news came out. We came down, then we started working our way back up. So it must not have been that bad, right? We never got a big flush. And now right here, we're green. It's a spinning top, but we're green. Let's come back over here. Apple's starting to move back up. It was 8 something when we started this live stream. Let's see where Google's at right now. It had given back some of the gains. Nope, now it's back. It's going back up again. Okay, this had given back some of the gains, but it's going back up. Let's just look through here. Let's see here. I'm still blown away by PSTI and Trade Desk. Those were just awesome today. Awesome. Okay. Let's do this. Let's look at a couple of forex names. How about Euro USD? And by the way, I don't know if Grayson's on here or not. Grayson's been playing forex at night, and he's had some really good nights. So if he's on here when he watches this, give him a shout out. He's been playing a lot of forex. Forex, again, is good if you want to get away from the PDT rule. And you can obviously play with any kind of size you want, from really, really small, like $100 up to whatever you want, right? Because it's the most liquid market in the entire world. Trillions and trillions of dollars exchanged every single day. I think the average is over 5 trillion per day worldwide. So as long as you're sticking to the majors and the minors, you'll never have a liquidity issue. You start getting into some of the exotics, you could potentially have a liquidity issue. If you're playing size, if you're playing really small numbers, you never have to worry about it. Okay, here we are on Euro USD on the 30-minute. We had this nice move up, and then it turned right around. This is the definition of a rollover right there. Okay, you see that? See how we lost momentum? Big candle, medium candle, big candle, resting candle. All right, so here, look at this candle combination. Let's talk about price action for a second. Candle combination, resting candle. Okay, if we're combining these and we get this resting candle, what is that telling us? Measured move, right? We know that if we take the top of this out, what comes next should be similar to this. Well, look at that. Okay? It's almost identical, right? Maybe even slightly bigger. See that right there? Measured move. So this is basically a 3-candle pattern play, but using a combination of candles. So you put these 3 together, and then just say 1, 2, 3. Okay, it went on, but the next 3 are almost identical in size to these 3. It just happens all the time. That's why you look for this stuff. So if you take this play in your mind, okay, you should be taking this move minus this, right? Because you don't enter until right there. And then right around there's your price target. I would try to get out a little bit earlier than that. I'm just going to make this, eyeball it. I won't make it up. I'll eyeball it. Okay, 108.12. 08.12 to, what is this? 08.50. All right, so 38 pips. So whatever this is, which is, I'm just going to guess about 5 pips. Okay, so then I'm looking for about a 35 pip move from here approximately. So I'd probably get out at about 30 pips or so. Right? And you easily got that right there. Okay, then it rolls over right here, and then we go to the downside. Came here, away, let me look. It didn't even quite get down here. That is sort of, let me look. That is sort of a one candle demand zone right there because you had a sharp drop, one candle, and then blasted away. And we always say the way it leaves the zone is more important than the way it comes in. But you want both. You want it to come in strong and leave even stronger. This didn't even get all the way down to it because really you would draw it from right here. Okay, so it didn't even get there, and then it moved up strongly again. I'm just looking for price action stuff, supply and demand stuff. There wasn't any particular reason I wanted to look at it, but right here, that's perfect for showing you how a combination candle, three candle pattern play works. These 3, resting candle, then your next 3 are about the same size. All right, let's look at GBP USD, the cable. See what we got going here. Okay, strong move up. And right here, okay, there's 2 candles. Okay, remember, you can have 2 resting candles in a 3 candle pattern play. Okay, so up, resting, up again, right? So this move should be similar. It's a little bit smaller, okay, but similar, but that's your play. Okay, we came up here, then we're moving down. I'm looking for things that catch my eye. See if there is any. Okay, down here into a hammer. We never take it out. Your entry, now here, you would have entered, come back down there, might have stopped you out, but then you could enter again right there. And then look at that move. Okay, nice move there. Okay, that's really it there. How about, let's look at, you posted a question about forex. Okay, hang on, Cathal, let me look. Let's look. All right. I entered at 17839 and a 10 pip took me out with only 10 pips profit. Should I have let it run without trail stop on more from now on? What would you have done? Okay. So let's see here. Okay, so you entered, I'm assuming, up here. Is that correct? Because I see the arrow is moving down. Said I entered at 7 euro. Okay, that'll help. Euro, New Zealand. Let's go back and look. All right, so you entered, let me look at it again, 7839. Let me find it on here. Okay, so you entered right here. You entered right there. You had a 10 pip trailing stop, and you got taken out with a 10 pip profit. So I'm assuming right here, is this the one that took you out? Right here? 14. I think this must be the one that took you out, Cathal. So the trailing stops, right? I've talked about this before. What I try to do is, let's just say, obviously I didn't take this trade, but if I would have entered here, I want it to move a certain direction or a certain portion in my direction. Then I'll usually add a 10 to 12 pip trailing stop. Sometimes this stuff's just going to go against you. There's not a whole lot you can do. However, you definitely want to lock in profit, right? You don't know that this isn't going to come up here, hammer, and just take off the other direction. So, I mean, for you, I know you play a lot of forex. I know you're wanting to catch, a lot more of these bigger moves like this. I mean, you could wait maybe, I don't know what your take profit target was. Maybe it was down here. Maybe down here was your take profit target. I'm not sure. But wherever it was, or maybe you were trying to get down into this wick, wherever it was, maybe you have a rule that once it moves, 50%, then I'm going to put on, a 12 pip stop or whatever the case may be. I mean, I'm usually conservative, so it moves about 25% of wherever my target is, then I move it barely into profitability. My first one is typically a mechanical stop though, meaning a hard stop. Then when it moves a little bit more and it gets to about 50% or 75%, then I start trailing it somewhere around there, unless I'm just not paying attention to it. If I'm just going to set a trade and totally go away from it, I probably am going to put a trailing stop on from the beginning. But if I'm kind of paying attention to it, I usually don't move my stop until I'm about 25% of, again, I'm just saying if this is my take profit target, divide that into quarters, and once I'm about 25% of the way, then I'll move it barely into profitability. Okay, then once I'm 50 or 75%, then I may throw a trailing stop on it. Then if I get really close, then I may tighten up the trailing stop to make as much profit as I can. All right, so hopefully that helps you a little bit, Cathal, but obviously you just can't do anything about something like that. And that's going to happen once in a while, right? Where it happens, and again, you don't know. You'd much rather get stopped out on something like this than to have this turn into the next move up like that, right? And that end up being structure and you head the other direction. So you'd much rather get stopped out than have that go against you. But, I know you're wanting to catch bigger moves, and I don't blame you. But that's kind of how I do it, how I just explained it. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit. All right, let's see. We're almost an hour in. Let's take one more look at the market. Yes, exactly, Cathal. If I'm watching it, I don't typically put one on until it's moved at least 50, sometimes even 75%. Then I throw a trailing stop on. I'm using just a hard mechanical stop up until that point, and I just move it a little bit at a time. So yes, you're right on with that. Okay, one last look here. You can see we're still trying to go green. We've moved up a little bit more since we left last. We're trying the top of this expanding range again. We're just now starting the power hour. I have no guesses on what we're going to do. I mean, that looks like structure, right? That's what it looks like, but we're also butting up against the top of this expanding range. And why do I say it looks like structure? Well, we went higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Now we're moving back up. If we would get up and take this out, that would mean we're still in an uptrend. You guys see that, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We're moving up again. So if we keep going up and we take out 29.4450, that means we're still in an uptrend. But I don't have any guesses on, is that what's going to happen? I do believe that there's a decent chance that we get up here. And I don't know, that could be we just ride this up here, bounce, 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 bounce until we get up in here. Then maybe we fall away. Who knows, right? Obviously, FOMC didn't say anything that was super negative, or we would have flushed. They didn't say anything super positive either, or we would have ramped, right? This is one of the most docile FOMC candles I've seen in a long time. Look at that. That's like nothing. That's really like nothing. Let me close it in a little bit here, get a little tighter. It's just not much. Not what we expect to see. But we'll kind of watch this candle. We'll see what it wants to do. We're so early. Right now it's just kind of sitting there. But if we start to go up, okay, here would be our obstacle, this wick. Obviously right there, little scalp, right? Could have took a scalp right here. Down. That's 23 from 37. That was about a $14 move to the downside. So even if it starts coming back this way, you get out with around 10 or 12 bucks right there. We know that's a play, right? Strong move up into into a shooting star. Take it out, ride it down. Okay, it went down like $14, but even as it comes back up, get out with $10 or $12 profit. Okay, now we hammered, but we really haven't been able to break and hold here. And that looks like structure. That's all I'm saying, is it looks like structure. Moving up, back down, move it up, back down, moving up. Okay? But we won't know unless it takes this out. All right, that's all I got for you today. I hope everybody's had a great day. Here we go. We're starting to spike right as I say I'm getting off. Let's see if it really moves or not. I'll wait just a minute. So we're trying to break through the upper side of this expanding range. If it doesn't move here very quickly, we'll go ahead and jump off here. But I just seen it start to spike right as I was going to get off. Here we go. Come on. Come on. So 294450. Got to really get up and hold like 2945. Put you a couple ticks above this wick here. And again, this, I'm always trying to think from a common sense perspective. How much of this was actually like selling pressure or just exhaustion by the buyers, right? Because they had the strong move here, pulled back, a little profit taking, and this steady move up throughout the day. I mean, this might just have been a little bit of exhaustion. Take some profits, regain your strength, try to go higher. Anyway, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to set an alert up here myself. If it gets taken out, then I will know what's going on. I've already done my walk for the day. It's raining right now. We had weather moving in. It's only day all week it's supposed to rain. It's been beautiful. It's supposed to be beautiful the rest of the week, but today rain was supposed to start moving in around 1 o'clock, 1:30. So that's why I went for my walk earlier. You kind of see me disappear out of the room. Here we go. It's trying to move. I disappeared out of the room there for about an hour or so. I always have my phone with me. I'm still looking at what's going on, and I can answer questions and all that. But I got my walk in, and literally I got back, and within 10 minutes or so, it started raining. So it's been raining while we've been on here. All right. Well, I've got my alert set on there. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I'll get this link posted in the room once it uploads to YouTube. And then that way, obviously, anybody who wasn't able to be with us live today will be able to see everything that we covered. It's been a great day. Don't do anything silly to end the day, right? We're in power hour now. Try to wrap your trades up before we get too late in the day. Don't get caught in any kind of unnecessary volatility towards the end of the day. I'm not saying you can't trade right now. I mean, sometimes between 3 to 3:30 is a great time to trade, right? We might end up getting a pop here. Who knows, right? Because we're just now taking this out. So we may get a pop. We take this out. We're probably going to shoot up here. All right, but all I'm saying is don't give your profits back at the end of the day. If you've had a good day, be very cautious. And tomorrow's another day. And hopefully our watch list will be as kind to us as it was today. All right, guys, we'll see you in the room in a little bit. Bye-bye.